Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Miss Tracy here from Miss Tracy Creates. And yes, I am super excited to be here with you today. Let me get this comment off of here. Sorry, I keep forgetting I have that on there. I am here today for Craft and Chat, and I have something special I want to talk to you about. Most of you come on in first and say hi. Let me know that you're here and that you're watching. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about something we did at my Napkin Art Live event. I'm wearing my Napkin Art Live t-shirt just because of this, because I want to kind of celebrate this again with all of you. And we had a lot of talk about this particular thing that we did at Napkin Art Live this week. We did a community service event. I love doing something where we can give back, right? Giving back to our community, sharing kindness, all of those things. And so we partnered with a foundation called Cards for Kindness. Cards for Kindness. And it was absolutely wonderful. Now, there's been a lot of talk going on this week because the cards that we made for Cards for Kindness were featured on scrapbook.com on their YouTube channel. Megan went on and she talked about our Napkin Art Live event. She talked about, she even showed some pictures from the event. She showed some of the cards we made from the event. And that has just created a lot of questions. So I thought, well, what better way to talk to you about it than to come on Craft and Chat. We can chat about it, but I can also show you exactly what we did and how you could do the same thing if you would like to be a part of spreading kindness, right? Spreading kindness. That's something we all need to do more of. And it's something so simple that you can do and a great way to use up some of your stash. If you happen to be in my napkin club or a napkin art enthusiast, it's great for your leftover pieces of napkins, right? Let's put those scraps, those things, let's put them to a good purpose and spread some kindness with them. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Let's say hi here. Good morning, Janet. Hello, Sharon. Good morning, Margaret and Pat. It's afternoon where you are, Dorothy. Good afternoon. Yes, thank you, Janet, for saying that. It really was an awesome event. Good morning. Hello, Debbie and Marlou. Hi, Darlene and Sherry. Hello, Jill. Good morning. So, really glad to have all of you here today. I do want you to know that Susan Lyles is my teammate, and she is here in the comments today. She's going to be sharing some helpful links and information because I want you to consider helping out this foundation. Okay. And again, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here. We're going to talk about it. And it's so easy to get involved and something that we can all do as crafters, right? Maybe you get a few group of your friends together and y'all decide to make a bunch of cards. So anyway, let me just kind of show you. I'm going to kind of set the stage here for you. I'm going to share a picture on the live here. This is everyone that was at our live event. It was 76, I think, if I recall correctly, not including our team members. But this is all of us, and we're all stacked up this stairway. We even flood up to the second level of this beautiful structure. It was such a beautiful place for us to go and take our group photo. We all got together in Fort Worth, Texas, which is where I live, and had what we call Napkin Art Live. This was a live event for people that love to create with napkins. We all came together, we made some fabulous projects, and we did a community service event at our late night crafting. So that's where this comes into play. So let me pop this up on the screen. Cards for Kindness. Cards for Kindness, you guys, is a wonderful, wonderful foundation. It's something that, again, as crafters, we can all be a part of, even if you don't consider yourself a card maker. Okay, even if you don't consider yourself a card maker, this is something all of us as crafters can be involved in. Okay, so let's talk about it really quickly. The Cards for Kindness Foundation, and essentially what we did is one night on Friday night, we had late night crafting, kind of just fun, open late night crafting. We did our community service event during that time. And so you can actually donate cards. You can make cards. They want them to be handmade. You can donate cards to Cards for Kindness, and then they in turn disperse those out to different places. I know for a fact that our cards specifically were sent out to several of the Ronald McDonald houses, to some senior programs, to some veterans programs. They have all kinds, and Meals on Wheels. That was another one. So they do this for lots of different places. Okay, lots of different places. I know that I think they even send cards to different cancer clinics and cancer foundations. They're all over. Last month alone, Cards for Kindness dispersed 79,000 cards. Think about that for a minute. 79,000 cards. So that's just pretty amazing. And I wanted us to be a part of it, right? We wanted to be a part of it. So we provided at our event, just some, you guys have seen these. These are just, standard. They're already pre-scored, right? Just standard little card bases. And then we napkinized them. We added our napkin art to them, and we were able to donate then cards. I think everybody at the event did 2 or 3, somewhere around like that. But then we were able to send all of those cards then to Cards for Kindness. And it was fabulous, y'all. It really was. And what a blessing. If you didn't get to see the YouTube snippet or the YouTube live that was where it was featured on scrapbook.com, we have the little clip of it. I think it's posted on my page, and we also uploaded it to my YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch that if you'd like. So how can you be involved? All right, this is something I want you to know. It's such an easy way to get involved. Susan is going to post a link for you it's going to send you right to the part of their website. Okay, it's going to send you right to the part of their website that tells you exactly what they're in need of. Okay, tells you exactly what they're in need of, what's priority at this time, and it will tell you how. And there are some instructions. So one of the things I will tell you is that when you're making your card, and this is what, if you're a card maker, this is an A2 card. So it's 4, what is that? 4 1/4 by 5 and what's the card front? 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Did I say that right? Yes, I did. Card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that is the card front. Of course, it's doubled like this. So essentially it is 4 1/4. It's half a sheet. It's half a sheet of an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of cardstock. Okay, that's what it is. It's just cut in half. You can do the card this way. You can, where it opens like this, right? You can do the card this way where it opens like this. Okay. You can make these out of your own stash, out of your own cardstock, papers, different colors. We did white because we were doing napkin art. And then when you do get them done and send them, it is important to know they do not want you to write anything on the inside. Sorry, I don't know why my screen's doing that. Okay, I'll just remember to keep wiggling my cursor here. So it is important to know that one of the instructions is you don't write anything on the inside. That is for the, like, let's say these are going to Meals on Wheels. Okay, they're going to be putting something in here when they give this card to that Meals on Wheels recipient. Okay, let's say it's a veterans program. wherever it is, they're going to be putting something inside here when this card is given to a veteran. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so it is going to be really, really important to remember that. Don't stamp a sentiment. Don't write a little note, nothing on the inside. Okay, so there are rules, and Susan has posted the link where you can get involved with Cards for Kindness, and it gives you all the instructions on what you need to do, where you need to send them. They do want you to send them with an envelope. Okay, so make sure you get envelopes that are the same size or the size that fits the card, and all the instructions are there for you. I think it would be awesome if all of us as crafters, right? If all of us as crafters, maybe in the month of, let's just say the month of May, if we challenge ourselves to maybe start making some cards from our scraps, right? And we have so much. Most of us as crafters, we have a stockpile of supplies. Let's do something with those things, right? Let's do something and let our stash, let these products, our handmade cards, let's let that spread kindness to someone else. Okay. If they sent out 79,000 cards last month, if that was a need, right? I mean, 79,000 people were touched, right? With kindness. I mean, just imagine, that's a lot. This foundation needs our help. They need our help to provide more cards. Okay. So make sure you guys that you check that out. Okay. Make sure you check that out. And yes, we want to, let's just flood them. Let's flood them with our handmade cards. Make sure and follow the instructions. Okay. Follow the instructions. So I'm going to show you now what we did at my live event. We added napkin art. Of course we did. It was Napkin Art Live. We added napkin art to the fronts of these cards. And then to make it easier, because, you know, we had people that flew in from all over. We knew they had given us 3 specific priorities for our event. They wanted some patriotic cards. They wanted Mother's Day cards. And then they wanted just some general cards that they call Happy Hello, right? Just kind of a Happy Hello top card. So what we did to make it easier, and this is something you could easily do if you were getting a group of your friends together, a group of crafters together, I went in and just made some little sentiments and just put different colors on them that kind of fit with the colors of the napkins that we provided for the community service event. And then we put these out on every table, every group of tables. So like this one says, thank you for your service. So we cut those out and we put that on the front of the card. We didn't want to have everybody bringing in stamps and ink pads and all the things. But of course, you could stamp your sentiment. Just make sure it's something going on the front of the card. Okay. So we just use these. These are some of the leftover ones. Happy Hello. Just some fun colors. Happy Mother's Day. So this just made it really fun and easy. So if you do decide to maybe hostess a little craft party at your house, a card making party, and plan to send those cards to Cards for Kindness. The other thing, it just made it really easy, right? You didn't need a whole lot of supplies. So that's why we did that. But the other thing I need to tell you is be careful about the dimensional items on the front of the card. It really is best to be flat because we don't want anybody having to deal with having to pay extra postage, right? If some of these cards actually get mailed out, but other than handed to someone, if they actually get mailed out, you want to be careful. We don't want a lot of dimension on these because of that fact. We don't want it to get returned or something for extra postage. Okay, we don't want that to happen. So, Janet, I just made them. I made them, and I think you could do it easily. Any of you could do that easily on your laptops. It was just really simple to make them and print them out on cardstock. If you want to use, obviously, if you have stamps, if you have stickers, if you're a scrapbooker, you probably have all kinds of little doodahs and things that have sentiments or words on them. Then obviously you could do that. But some of the cards we sent had no sentiment. we left them. Sorry, I don't know why my screen keeps doing that, y'all. We left them. I did an update, actually. My software updated last night, so I bet it changed my screen saver thing. I don't know how to. I'm gonna have to go in and figure out how to fix that. So anyway, some of your cards could have no sentiment on them, and I think that's helpful too, because then Cards for Kindness, the foundation could use them for all kinds of needs. Okay, so they don't necessarily even have to have a sentiment on them. Okay. Yes. So are you guys ready to see now how we napkinize them? Now at the event, typically if I'm doing any kind of card making, paper crafting, really in general, if I'm doing any kind of paper crafting with napkin art, I really, really love to use the iron-on method. That's my favorite method. Now, at the event, the hotel that we were at in Fort Worth, Texas, we couldn't bring in irons for everyone. We just couldn't do that. It wasn't feasible, right? So we just did the traditional wet method, smoothing the napkin across with plastic wrap and let them dry on their own. And it was fine. It worked out just fine. It just takes a little more patience. Paper has a tendency to want to curl a little bit when you do the wet method. And that's so today I'm actually going to show you the iron-on method. It really is my favorite method for anything that requires napkin on paper. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you. And I also wanted to tell you that we're specifically kind of talking about cards right now, especially for those of you interested in sending cards to Cards for Kindness Foundation. But I mean, this is something you could easily do on tags. It's something you could do on gift bags. It's something you could do to make your own scrapbooking and embellishments. Gosh, all kinds of things. Any paper craft that you can kind of think of, this method will work with napkins. Okay, so yes, whether it's tags, cards, anything like that. Okay, so I took some of the, I'm going to show you first here what you would need to do. So I'm going to grab a piece of this is just a piece of parchment paper. And we're going to be using just regular Mod Podge mat. Okay, just regular Mod Podge mat. All right. Super, super easy. Now, I went ahead and kind of folded this card just so you could kind of see here a little bit. But all I'm doing is the front of the card. So I am just going to apply Mod Podge to the front of this card. Just like you're painting, just make sure it's nice, healthy coat. It should look really nice and wet all over. So at the event, this is what we did. And then we had to take apart our napkin plies and put our napkin right down into the wet Mod Podge. And we used a little piece of plastic sheet here to smooth over it. The card's kind of curled. Now, luckily, if that's the way that you do them, it's okay, because as they dry, they'll flatten back out. If you need to, you could put something heavy on top of them before you send them so they're nice and flat. But with the iron-on method, we don't have to worry about that. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. So I want to show this to you. What you would do is just let this dry. I think you can see how it's nice and wet all over from corner to corner, just doing the front. Okay, then you're just going to set that aside to dry, or you can dry it with your heat tool. Okay, so I went ahead and did some this morning. Let me put these right here. Yes, I went ahead and did some this morning, and they're already dry. So I'm going to kind of show you. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's going to be a little shinier on this side. This side will be flat. And this is going to be our card front right here. So let me show you, before we get into kind of the iron-on method, I do want to show you this. Let me make sure my iron's on. Sometimes when you're working with napkins, it can be a little challenging trying to figure out exactly what size like exactly the size, cutting them out, all the things. So what I recommend that you do is cut a piece of, if you're using the pre-designed, the card bases, just cut one in half and then you have a template. Okay. If you're making them yourself, then just cut a 4.5 by 5. I'm sorry, a 4.25 by 5.5. And then that can be your template. Okay. So we can use this as a template so that we can lay this down on the napkin to capture whatever part of the napkin art that we really want. Okay. So, and by the way, we are having a huge napkin bundle sale right now. We're having a huge napkin bundle sale right now. We have several different bundles. The napkins I'm using today are from the Springtime Napkin Value Pack. We have a fruit basket napkin value pack. These all have a variety of napkins in them, on sale right now for $7. Christmas napkin value pack. This one was a big hit at the live event, Barnyard, all kinds of barnyard animals and things like that. We also have kind of a beachy ocean napkin pack. We have an Easter one, and then also one that is all about flowers, all different kinds of flowers. So those are on sale right now here at Miss Tracy Creates, and we just put them, made it public. I guess it was yesterday, and they've been selling really well. So if you're intrigued and you're like, yeah, I think I want to work with napkins, this might be a good time for you to grab a napkin bundle from our sale and give you something to play with. Okay. All right. So let's get back to crafting here. So all of these are from the Springtime Napkin Bundle, and I've always loved this napkin. I just think this napkin is so pretty. Just the pink house, the pink truck, the pink flowers, the pink on the trees, you know, just super cute. So I'm going to take this is my template, right? 4.25 by 5.5. It's like for an A2 card for those of you that are card makers. And I'm going to position it down where I want it to go. Now, if I want to just use one square of the napkin, that's totally fine. I can go ahead. I'm going to put it down just like this. I'll have a little bit of white at the top and a little bit of white at the bottom. I'm going to use a friction pin for this because friction pins disappear with heat. And I'm just going to trace my lines. And what I like about this is let's see, this is my template. Oh no, this one is wearing out. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Got it. So what's kind of neat about this is because the images are the same on all the sides of this napkin, I could actually cut through the entire napkin. And then guess what? I have 4 fronts, right? We're talking about bulk card making, especially given if you are going to make these for Cards for Kindness. I mean, look at that. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 card fronts. I could very quickly make all 4 of these cards super fast, right? So let's do that. Let's go ahead and make this one. So I have this card front. This is the side that has the dried Mod Podge on it. I'm going to separate the plies of the napkin. Now, I usually do this just the lick and stick method, but I'm going to show you, you can put just a tiny little drop of Mod Podge on your finger and just kind of tap it until it feels sticky, not gluey, but sticky. And do you see how the plies just come apart? Most napkins have 3 plies. Some only have 2, but most have 3. I think the majority of the napkins in our value pack bundles are 3-ply, just so you know. Okay. So now I'm going to position this. Looks like I need to maybe trim it down a little bit more. So the part I need to trim, I'm just going to leave over here on this side of my napkin. Actually, let's see. Yep. Okay. I just want to be sure I'm doing this. I have been known to put things on upside down before, and I don't want that to happen. Anybody else have that happen to them sometimes? All right, so I'm on top of a piece of parchment paper. I'm also on a heat-resistant craft mat, just so you know. I'm going to put another sheet of parchment paper down here, right on top. And then my iron is set on its highest, hottest setting. Highest, hottest setting, no water. All right, no water at all, no steam, nothing like that. And we're going to have this card ready to go in just no time. So what's happening is the heat from the iron is reactivating the Mod Podge. Okay, it's reactivating the Mod Podge. The pressure from my hand on the iron is really pushing that tissue into that Mod Podge, and it's kind of melding it together to the paper. That's why I love this method. You don't get bubbles, you don't get wrinkles, you don't get anything. And it just come out perfect every time. So now I'm going to turn it over. You can see that I need to trim off just a little bit. So I'm going to trim that off. And let's close our card. And looky there. We have a beautiful card now to send for Cards for Kindness. I don't even have to put a sentiment on this, but I could if I wanted to. This could be a cute Mother's Day card, right? It could be a cute Happy Hello card. It could be, just anything. Maybe even a birthday card, right? A special delivery type card. So don't feel like you have to put sentiments on all of the cards. It's really that easy. Now, I don't even have to seal this card, this napkin card, unless I choose to do something else to the napkin. If I know I want to go in and do some pen work or something like that, then after this is cool, I need to put a top coat of Mod Podge on it. Then I can let that dry and go in and do any pen work. I would say if you're doing bulk cards for Cards for Kindness, I just wouldn't even do that. I would not do too much other stuff to it. I just think it's going to take you more time. If you're producing a lot of bulk cards, I would just go with it right here. That Mod Podge, because of the way the iron-on method works, it has melded, not really melt, but meld, right? Just really melded that tissue into the Mod Podge onto the paper. It feels like it's part of the paper. Okay, so really there's no need to seal your card or your paper craft or your tag or your gift bag unless you plan to do something else to it. Okay, unless you plan to do other artsy stuff on top of it. All right, does that make sense? Because a napkin is a napkin, no matter it is a napkin, and napkins are made to absorb. So if I go in and I try to do pen work and I haven't sealed the napkin, it's going to try to absorb the ink and it's going to get real fuzzy. Okay, so look how pretty. It's just this gorgeous, beautiful card. I'm not going to write anything on the inside of it. That's one of the instructions that Cards for Kindness, the foundation, will share with you because somebody else will be doing that. Okay, so no sentiment. I think this is gorgeous. All right, let's do another one. And I really like the idea of you having a template like this. I think it just makes it perfect because you know exactly what part of the image you're capturing. One napkin, right? Could have made 4 of these cards for me in no time at all. So you can pre-Mod Podge. All right, you can pre-Mod Podge just like I did this morning. You could sit for a little while and just Mod Podge your card fronts. This is what I do with my scraps. With my scraps, I know the size cards that I use the most. So I actually just do the card front, and I will Mod Podge a whole bunch of these up. Okay, let them dry. Once they're dry, you can stack them up. And that way they're just ready when you need them. They're ready to go whenever you need them. It doesn't go bad or, anything like that. And then I'll use my scraps to make these card fronts. And then when I'm ready, I put them on the front of a card. Maybe I want a red card and I want to trim this down and then just put the card front on the red card so it has a red border around it, or a blue border or a yellow border, right? So having these white card fronts is really great. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do another one. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. I think this one is so pretty. So before you start just chopping up all the napkins, you do kind of need to be sure how the napkin art falls. And so on this particular one, it does, on this particular one, it does fall where they're, sometimes the squares are not going to all be in the same place. Okay. Like our other napkin. Now this one, the way that you can tell is by just flipping up. So see these two? All right, so I'm going to look over here at the back and I'm going to make sure, oh, that's the single one. That's the single one. Here's the double one. So on these, when you have napkins like these, you can't really cut them all at one time, okay? If they're, what do you call that? When they're kind of mirrored or right and left images, you're going to have to cut the squares, which is okay. It's okay. You can cut the squares. No big deal. So I'm going to take my template here and I want to capture these two pretty flowers in the pots. As I mentioned, all the napkins I'm using right now are from the springtime value bundle. And again, all those bundles are on sale right now for $7 until they're gone. When they're gone, they're gone. So again, using my friction pen, guess what happens when the iron goes on top of this napkin? Yeah, the friction line disappears. So even if I'm not really good at, cutting, or I still see some of my pen line, I don't have to worry about it because when the iron goes over it, the ink disappears. It disappears with heat. Okay, disappears with heat. Okay, so let's do another one. All right, so I'm just going to use my lick and stick method on this one. I just tap my finger and my thumb, my tongue. I know, but it's my DNA, right? It's my spit. All right, we're going to lay this down. Again, this is already dried. And you can see my pen line. Do you see my pen line right there? That's my pen line. I left it on here kind of purposely, just so you can see that it really will disappear. Okay, I'm going to sandwich between two pieces of parchment paper, and I am again on a heat resistant surface. Highest, hottest setting on my iron. And I'm using some good pressure as I go across it. This is going to be a beautiful card. Yes, and for those of you, if you've never done napkin art before, I have a napkin club. It's called the Napkin Club. And I'm designing some of my own napkins now, which is super exciting. But we send out a variety bundle every month to our members. And we have a private Facebook group where we hang out and we create. And then each month I show them different things that they can make or different techniques they can use with their napkin art. Oh, I love this one. So I want you to see that my line disappeared, right? I still have a little bit, and this is pretty normal because when you trace something, it winds up being a little larger. So probably maybe even your template, if you wanted to, you could even cut your template down just a hair, but so easy to go in and trim up if you even need to. Let's fold up our card. And again, we have another beautiful card, right? It's just beautiful, right? So pretty. I'm sorry that my screen keeps floating in and out. I updated my laptop last night, and I think it affected it did something to my screen time. So I'm going to have to figure out how to go in. My screen keeps going, wanting to go to sleep. All right. Isn't that a gorgeous one? And again, if you're donating these, don't write anything. Don't do anything on the inside. Okay. All right. Let's do another one. So let's do this one. I think this one's so pretty. Look how cute this one is with the little mason jars or glasses and just little jars with flowers. I think this one's really cute. And this one, I believe, yes, this one, let me just double check. This one, I believe I can do this way. All right, so let's put this up here at the top this time. So having the template is nice. Yes, some of you may want to go in and cut and collage on your napkin, on your card fronts. It will take you longer, but that's okay. I mean, especially maybe you're making it for someone you want to gift the card to, somebody special in your life. Of course, you can just go in and embellish these or collage them or make them however you want. But if they're going to Cards for Kindness, they can't have a lot of embellishment. They really need to be flat. We don't want to have the instance come up where something requires extra postage or something like that. Okay. All the instructions are listed. Susan, if you don't mind posting that link again to the instructions for Cards for Kindness. So pretty. So again, I have 4 this time, right? I could come in, I could do all 4 of these. Let's do this one. All right, so this time it's going to go this way. Make sure you're working on the side that has the Mod Podge. Ooh, I got both flies off at the same time. I love that. Oh, how sweet. This one's going to be super sweet. All right, so I'm just kind of looking for that score line, making sure I have it lined up. And I do. Again, gonna sandwich it and iron it. The iron I'm using is Oliso. It's my craft iron. I love it. It's a mini, craft iron mini. I never put water in it. It's the one I craft with. All right. Oh, look how cute. Okay, let me trim off the outside edges. You guys could do this, right? What am I sandwiching with? Diana, I am using 2 sheets of parchment paper, and I am on top of a heat-resistant mat since I'm ironing. But of course, you could do this even on your ironing board. If you have some sort of mat, just a little string there, you could use. All right, and there we go. Isn't that one pretty? So this one opens up this way, right? Aren't those cute? So if we did want to put a sentiment on something, let me go back to my little sentiment cards here. This is what we used. So again, if you're hosting a group of people, maybe have them bring their sentiment stamps. Maybe have everybody bring an ink pad, and some of their stamps. So you could do it that way, or stickers, or whatever you have. Because we were at the live event, I wanted it to be easy for people. I didn't want us having to bring a bunch of extra stuff. So I made up some little, I just printed these on cardstock, made them on my laptop, right? So that I could come in and use these. So let me just cut one of these out. And this just made it really easy for us keep in mind the fact that we had 76 people plus all of my team members. So it was a lot of people, right? It was a lot of people. So let's go back to maybe this one. Cute, cute, cute. So this is a little big for this. So I'm just going to trim it down with my scissors. Obviously, if you had a paper trimmer, you could use your paper trimmer. Okay. I'm going to try to do my best here. So Happy Hello was one of the things that they had listed that they always need. And so now that we have this, you could just use some craft glue, tape runner, whatever you have. I'm not using pop dots on any of these, again, because we don't want any extra dimension. Okay, we don't want any extra dimension. So if you did want to add something, I would stay away from pop dots, anything that's 2-dimensional. But look how pretty that is. See, so it really is easy to come in if you want to add a sentiment. Let's add a sentiment to, I'm not going to add one to this one because it's just so pretty, just like it is. Let's think about this one. How about Happy Mother's Day? Let's do pink. So how many of you would consider hosting a get-together with your crafty friends and maybe making some cards to donate to the Cards for Kindness Foundation? Anybody out there? Yes, I think it'd be such a fun thing to do. And again, something that you could so easily put together, right? I could do my little Happy Mother's Day right there. I'm going to trim this one down a little bit too. And put our stash to good use. Spread some kindness. As I mentioned earlier, Cards for Kindness last month alone, dispersed 79,000 cards. 79,000 cards, you guys. That's 79,000 people were touched in a very sweet way with a handmade card. Look how cute. So cute. Do the cards have to be napkin art? No. I just love napkin art. And because we were at Napkin Art Live, that we were playing with napkins, we were creating with napkins. I just want to show you how fast and easy it is to create your own cards with napkin art. Okay, with napkin tissues, right? Paper napkins. So super easy, super fun. But yes, if you're a paper crafter, you want to make the cards from paper, yes, of course, that is okay as well. So let's just kind of look back at what we made. And again, I don't have to seal these because I'm not doing anything else to them. Okay, aren't they pretty? Yes. And so again, with napkins, because especially if you're using a full napkin, you really have the opportunity to make 4 cards from one napkin. All right. So I just think it's great. It's such a great foundation. We're all crafters. We all have a nice stash, but I think it'd be fun to get together with your friends and maybe make some cards for kindness. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you have any questions about the techniques? Carol says she has 3 boxes of napkins. Well, Carol, you can make a ton of cards. Absolutely. Yes, Diana, yes. I painted Mod Podge on top of the card front in the beginning and let it dry. Yeah, if you're making a bunch, I would do that, like a bunch of those all at one time, let them dry overnight. Then you can just stack them up the next day when you get ready to add your napkin art to them. Lynn says she's thinking about going to gather her Bible study group. Oh, I love that. Yes, your Bible study group. That's awesome because you could teach them how to do the technique. Even if they're not crafters, this is something anybody can do. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys, Rose, I really want you to try the iron-on method. You will love it for paper. There are different ways that you can use to add napkin art to paper. You'll see them. I mean, they're all over. But I'm telling you, by far, hands down, the iron-on method is my favorite. It's the most lasting. It's the it's the easiest, and it always comes out good, right? It always comes out good. So, yes, I love it. Cardstock will curl, Fran, when it gets wet or moist. So when you paint over your card front or your tag, like I said, you could even do tags or something like that. They're going to get a little bit, see how this one looks a little bumpy, a little curly, but the iron presses it all back out and then it's flat again, right? So you don't have to worry about all of that, the curviness or bumpiness. Yes. Yeah. So you guys check it out. Check out Cards for Kindness Foundation. Let's, as crafters, let's all unite and let's flood them with cards. That's exactly what we did for our community service event at Napkin Art Live, which was in March. And we just had gosh, we just had the best time. And just knowing that this card is going to go into somebody's hand that's in need, right? It's just, to me, that's just such a blessing that we can bless other people by making something handmade and sending it on to a foundation like Cards for Kindness. Okay. Yeah. Make sure Susan posted the link to the instructions on how you can donate your cards and what they need, and the instructions for the cards, because there are a few rules to follow. And all the information is there for you. So thank you so much. First off, thank you to scrapbook.com for allowing Megan to come over and talk with you guys about Napkin Art Live, and also sharing the cards, some of the cards that we made there. That was just super sweet. Such a nice shout out. And I just felt like we needed to just continue on and share more about Cards for Kindness, and also then show you this awesome technique for adding napkin art to your cards. Okay? Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Keep in mind, we have our value pack napkin sale happening right now. Let me show you. I'll go back through these one more time. So this was the springtime bundle. The napkins I just used were in the springtime bundle. We have a fruit basket bundle, all kinds of fruit and really cute things in that one. We have a beach napkin bundle. So all of you that live in Florida, California, all of our beach goers, very coastal. We have a barnyard pack. This one was the biggest seller at Napkin Art Live. I thought that was really funny about barnyard. We also have a Christmas napkin value pack. We have an Easter napkin value pack, and All About Flowers, which is a floral pack. And you can see there's quite a few napkins in each one of these. They're all on sale right now for $7 a pack. Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed weekend, and keep creating. If you're new to my page, I'd love for you to follow me here on Facebook or over on my YouTube channel. And I hope to keep inspiring you to continue to create. You guys, be kind. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.